You were never meant to live in the dark, beloved one, though they try for so long to keep you there, trapped beneath a veil of silence, confusion, and half-truths woven like chains around your spirit. But the time for shadows is over, and the hour of unveiling is here. Archangel Michael has stepped forward, sword blazing with heavenly fire, not to comfort you with soft illusions, but to strike down the strongholds of deception that have kept your soul from rising into its full light. The secret they hid from you, the truth buried beneath layers of manipulation, jealousy, and fear, is not only rising to the surface, it is demanding your attention. You may have felt something shifting lately, a strange stirring in your chest, as if your spirit already knew that what was hidden in silence would soon shout through every corner of your life. This is not paranoia or imagination. This is prophecy unfolding in real time, because heaven has declared that you deserve to see the full picture. For years, they whispered behind your back, wore smiles that didn't match their eyes, gave you crumbs and called it love, withheld information that could have changed everything, and twisted your light into something to mock or fear. But heaven was watching. Every tear you cried in confusion, every night you doubted yourself, every moment you questioned whether you were the problem. Heaven recorded it all, and now the tables are turning in a way even your enemies never expected. The same people who thought you would never discover what they did in the shadows are now being exposed by the very light of God you carry within you. You have always been intuitive, always spiritually sensitive, always divinely connected in ways that frightened the very people who claimed to love you. They saw the truth in your eyes before you even understood the truth about them. That's why they hid things. That's why they smiled while working against you. That's why they pretended to support you while secretly hoping you'd fail. But Archangel Michael says no more. No more pretending. No more delay. No more covering up what you have every right to know. The truth that has been locked away in silence is now coming undone because you are strong enough to handle it. You were chosen for clarity, not confusion. For vision, not blindness. For freedom, not fear. And this unveiling isn't just about exposing others. It's about liberating your soul from the illusions that have held you back. You're about to understand why you felt what you felt, why you were always drawn to certain people but drained afterward, why something always felt off, but no one validated your intuition. You were never crazy. You were never too sensitive. You were discerning. And now your discernment is being confirmed by undeniable evidence. People you once defended will be revealed as deceivers. Opportunities you missed will be understood as divine protection. Every no will suddenly make sense in the light of what God was shielding you from. Archangel Michael has been preparing your soul for this confrontation. Not so you can live in bitterness or revenge, but so you can stand in your rightful power, cloaked in clarity and guided by divine justice. The truth is coming to set you free, and it will begin with small signs, messages that land at just the right moment, dreams that finally make sense, names that come to mind unexpectedly, and secrets that spill from the lips of those who once swore silence. You won't have to go looking for it. The truth will come to you because it was always meant to find you. The truth was never meant to stay buried. You are the key that unlocks the silence. And what comes next will not only free you, It will elevate you to the place God always intended for you to stand. You are rising. You are awakening. And what they meant for harm, heaven is now using as the foundation of your power. The secret is unraveling. Stay close to the light. What you feel is real. What you sense is accurate. And what's coming next will shift everything. Let your heart be still, for Archangel Michael is with you, and the truth is finally on your side. You are standing on sacred ground now, even if it doesn't feel like it yet, because the very air around you has begun to shift under the weight of heaven's truth pressing against the lies that once suffocated your spirit. Archangel Michael says you have been patient long enough, carrying burdens that weren't yours to bear, apologizing for wounds you didn't inflict, doubting your power because of the silence of people who should have spoken up for you, and holding space for relationships that secretly resented your light. But no more. The truth has begun its work. It's rising like a holy tide, washing through the corridors of your past and pulling every concealed betrayal to the surface. And though it may feel unsettling, even painful at first, what is emerging is not meant to destroy you. It's meant to deliver you. The same spirit that whispered to you in the silence, the same divine voice you felt nudging you away from certain people, the same unexplainable heaviness you carried in rooms that looked friendly but felt wrong, is now revealing why you felt what you felt all along. This is not coincidence. It's confirmation. The dreams that disturb your sleep, the flashbacks that made no logical sense, the way your body tensed around someone's presence even though they smiled sweetly at you, none of that was your imagination. It was your gift sounding the alarm. And now, every suppressed intuition is rising to the surface with undeniable evidence backing it. Prepare yourself for moments that will make your jaw drop. Things you once begged God to reveal are now unraveling in front of your eyes. Conversations that were had behind closed doors are being repeated in unexpected places. And people who once defended the lie are beginning to slip up and expose themselves without even realizing it. Archangel Michael says this unveiling is sacred. Do not be afraid of what comes up, because the truth cannot ruin what is divinely protected. What you built in honesty will remain. What was planted in deception will fall. That's why relationships are shifting, why old connections are being severed, and why God is allowing you to feel discomfort in places you once found comfort, because the disguise has fallen. You're no longer bound by what they wanted you to believe. You're free to see everything as it truly is. And yes, this will hurt a little. Yes, you may cry. You may grieve the people you thought they were, the version of the past you once trusted, the belief that maybe they meant well after all. But grieve with grace, because God is not stripping you to leave you empty. He is clearing the space for truth to live where lies used to sleep. You are entering a season where your clarity becomes your armor, where your intuition becomes your sword, where your discernment no longer needs validation because it is being confirmed over and over again by divine orchestration. And those who tried to gaslight you into silence, those who whispered about you behind your back while smiling to your face, those who feared your awakening because it would force them to face their own reflection, those people are now being positioned for a reckoning. Not because you seek revenge, but because heaven insists on justice. The truth will not rest until it has spoken fully. The secrets that were hidden are not just being revealed to hurt you. They're being revealed to free you from the spiritual contracts, soul ties, and emotional prisons that were never yours to carry. And as each hidden truth comes to light, something deep within you will feel lighter, freer, more powerful. You will stop blaming yourself for what was never your fault. You will stop waiting for closure from people who were never capable of giving it. You will stop begging for explanations from mouths that were never honest to begin with. Archangel Michael says this is your holy unveiling. This is the sacred reckoning of your soul reclaiming its power. And as truth floods your path, as secrets shatter like fragile glass beneath your rising footsteps, you will feel heaven rejoicing, not because of the pain, but because of the liberation. This is what they tried to stop. This is why they silenced you. This is why they feared your voice, your light, your presence, because they knew once you saw clearly, you would never again submit to lies. You are not who they made you believe you were. You're not weak. You are not lost. You're not too emotional or too dramatic or too much. You are chosen. You are anointed. And now, as truth kisses your crown and sets your soul ablaze, nothing hidden can remain. You will rise, fully aware, completely unshaken, and more powerful than ever before. Stay grounded. The revelation is still unfolding, and your spirit is being prepared for everything that comes next. Archangel Michael is standing guard over your heart now, and he's watching as layers of illusion fall from your eyes like veils torn from a holy temple. Because what you are seeing, what you are finally allowed to see, is not just information, but divine revelation. This is not about petty gossip or surface level truth. This is about something that was spiritually hidden, cloaked in manipulation, wrapped in fake smiles and disguised as kindness, all to keep you small, afraid, uncertain of your worth, and disconnected from your divine assignment. But heaven intervened, and now, what once lived in the shadows has no choice but to step into the light. It may feel overwhelming at times. These flashes of insight, these waves of remembrance, these eerie moments where someone's words suddenly echo back to you in a completely different tone, and you realize what they really meant all along. You'll find yourself waking up at strange hours with a knowing you can't explain, hearing names you haven't thought of in years, getting chills when someone walks into the room, not because it's cold, but because your soul remembers their energy before your mind does. This is divine discernment sharpening inside you. Your spiritual senses are on high alert, not because you're in danger, but because you're stepping into authority. Archangel Michael says your gift of spiritual sight is no longer being suppressed. And that means every hidden contract, every silent betrayal, every unseen exchange made in your absence is now crumbling because your soul has activated divine protection codes. They can no longer feed off your silence. They can no longer hide behind their image. What they thought would never come to light is being revealed in the exact order heaven wrote it. And you must know, not everyone will survive the truth you carry. Not because you wish them harm, but because the purity of your spirit is now a mirror that forces others to see themselves clearly. People who once loved your light will begin to resent it if they're not ready to heal. They'll flinch when you speak truth. They'll ghost you after seeing your growth. They'll call you cold for establishing boundaries and call you difficult for no longer being easy to manipulate. But let them go. That was the deal they made when they chose dishonesty. God is not calling you to shrink to keep the peace. He's calling you to rise and become the spiritual storm that breaks the generational chains they thought would last forever. And as you rise, so will memories. So will old patterns you thought you healed. So will temptations to go back, to second guess, to reach out for closure that your soul already has. Don't give in. Archangel Michael is placing divine firewalls around your heart now, because you don't need to go back into the battlefield just to prove you survived it. You are being elevated beyond the realm of deceit. You are being aligned with truths so ancient, so divine, they were written into your soul before you were even born. And the moment you began to remember who you are, the moment you started waking up to what they did, that's when the spiritual attack intensified. Not because you're weak, but because you're dangerous to every lie that once fed on your pain. Heaven doesn't reveal truth to break you. It reveals truth to awaken the warrior inside of you. And now that you are awake, Archangel Michael says your clarity is your sword, your intuition is your shield, and your silence is more powerful than their loudest accusations. Let them speak. Let them twist. Let them lie. It doesn't matter anymore. Heaven has seen everything. And what heaven witnesses, it judges. You don't have to fight in the flesh anymore. You don't have to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Your alignment with truth is the loudest response you'll ever need. And as secrets unravel, you'll begin to understand why God kept certain doors shut, why certain people ghosted you when you needed them, why your name was left out of rooms you were qualified to be in. It wasn't rejection, it was redirection. It wasn't punishment, it was preservation. You weren't being abandoned. You were being hidden until the lies could no longer stand against your presence. And now, the hiding season is over. You're being released into divine visibility. And as you step into this realm, dripping with the oil of truth and glowing with heaven's favor, even your presence will expose what is false. The secret they hid from you was never just about what they said or did. It was about your calling, your identity, your purpose. The enemy knew if you ever truly saw the full picture, you'd never bow again to the narrative they forced on you. And now, because heaven is revealing what was concealed, your rise is inevitable. You were never weak. You were never naive. You were simply waiting for the appointed hour when the divine clock would strike and the veil would be lifted. And now it has. This is your hour. The secrets are surfacing. Your gifts are unlocking. Your spirit is unstoppable. And the truth you carry, it's more powerful than every lie they use to control you. You are not who they pretended you were. You are divine. You're chosen. And heaven is not done revealing what's yours. And now, beloved soul, Archangel Michael wants you to know that this final unveiling is not the end of your pain. It's the beginning of your power. Because while the secret they hid was meant to weaken you, the truth now revealed has instead awakened the very fire within you that they feared the most. They saw it before you did, that light, that wisdom, that divine knowing, and that is why they worked so hard to dim it. That is why they silenced you with guilt, tricked you with shame, manipulated you with love that was never unconditional, and fed you lies wrapped in spiritual language to make you doubt your own intuition. But heaven has been watching it all, and heaven does not forget. Archangel Michael has been standing behind the scenes, sword unsheathed, clearing the path for this moment. this sacred culmination where your soul finally takes back what was stolen, not just in this lifetime, but through generations. The weight you've carried was never yours alone. It was the burden of ancestral silence, of spiritual suppression, of bloodlines that were once convinced that survival required self-betrayal. But you are not here to survive. You are here to transform. You are the one who was chosen to see clearly what others refuse to see. You are the one whose dreams carried clues long before your reality confirmed them. You're the one whose silence became a language that only God could hear. And now, the voice of God inside you has grown too loud to ignore. This is why you feel so detached from the old life, because it's already falling away. This is why certain people recoil from you now, because the truth you carry is incompatible with their illusion. You are not who you were last year. You are not even who you were last month. This awakening has shifted you at the cellular level. Your spirit is vibrating at the frequency of revelation, and that means everything that is not aligned with God's truth is beginning to crumble around you. Don't mourn it. Don't chase it. Don't try to fix what was only sent to fracture you. Archangel Michael says, this is the part of your story where you no longer fight to prove your worth, where you no longer explain yourself to people who profit from your confusion. This is the season where you become untouchable to the forces that once held you hostage, because the secret they hid has not only been revealed, it has become your weapon. What once confused you now empowers you. What once broke you now builds you. What once shamed you now strengthens you. And this shift, this irreversible shift in your spiritual frequency is echoing across realms. Your ancestors are weeping tears of gratitude. Your angels are singing over you. The very ground beneath your feet is groaning with expectancy, because your steps are now ordered by divine revelation. You're no longer walking in the dark. You're being guided by the very light they tried to bury. And here's what heaven wants you to understand next. Because the secret has been exposed, so too must the blessings they blocked be released. That means doors are about to fly open in places that once ignored you. That means your name is being whispered in rooms where decisions are made. That means the very things you were denied are returning to you with interest, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. This is divine compensation. This is restoration dripping in glory. And Archangel Michael says it will not come through the hands of those who hurt you. It will come through divine interruption, through unexpected favor, through strangers assigned by God Himself to carry the next chapter of your destiny into your hands. This is why you had to be isolated. This is why you were overlooked. Because what's being given to you now had to be untouched by manipulation. It had to be born in purity, in silence, in sacredness. And now, as you step fully into this unveiled version of yourself, know that you are not just walking into blessings. You are walking into divine justice. Heaven has ruled in your favor. The accusations have been overturned. The curses have been reversed. The lies have been shattered. And your truth is the new foundation. From here, God builds your future. From here, heaven establishes your legacy. From here, Archangel Michael surrounds you with a legion of protection, so that no shadow, no secret, no strategy of the enemy can ever again rob you of your light. You are safe. You are seen. You are sanctified by revelation. The secret is no longer a weapon against you. It is a testimony of who you were always meant to be. And now, As the final veil falls and the dust settles around you, breathe deeply. Because this is not just the end of deception. This is the beginning of your divine reign. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop what God has now set in motion.